Hello everyone, today I'm going to tell the story of the Trojan War. Let's dive in. At the divine wedding of Peleus and Thetis, all the gods came to celebrate. However, Eris, the goddess of chaos, wasn't invited. Driven by her anger, she took a golden apple, wrote "For the most beautiful goddess" on it, and hurled it into the middle of the celebration. This caught the attention of three goddesses, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. The prince of Troy, Paris, was chosen to judge. Each goddess promised him a reward if he chose her. Hera offered power, Athena offered wisdom, and Aphrodite offered the most beautiful person in the world. Now, if you haven't heard the story before, pause the video and guess what Paris chose. If you have heard it, you already know. Paris chose Aphrodite. Yep, and when you think about it, that was a pretty unwise choice, choosing the most beautiful woman over power or wisdom. So Paris went to Greece and took Helen, the wife of the Greek king Menelaus, who, according to Greek mythology, was the most beautiful woman in the world, and brought her back to Troy. The Greeks were furious, and that's how the 10-year-long war began. Many events happened during the war. I'm going to focus on two of them: the plague Apollo brought upon the Greeks, and Achilles' rage. At one point, the Greek leader Agamemnon took Chryseis, the daughter of Apollo's priest. The priest came with a large ransom and begged Agamemnon to return her, but Agamemnon arrogantly refused. Enraged, the priest prayed to Apollo for revenge. Apollo answered and sent a plague upon the Greek army. This forced Agamemnon to give Chryseis back, leaving him without a prize. Humiliated, he decided to take another one instead, one that belonged to someone he already didn't get along with, Achilles. Agamemnon took Achilles captive for himself, and now the humiliation fell on Achilles. Achilles was furious. He would have killed Agamemnon if Athena hadn't stopped him. Even then, he chose a different kind of revenge. He withdrew from battle and stayed in his camp, knowing that without him, the Greeks would struggle. He wanted Agamemnon to realize his mistake and come begging for his return. Achilles' friend wanted to live the soldier's spirit, so he dressed up as Achilles and went into the battle with Troy. But he was killed by the Trojan prince, Hector. This both angered and shamed Achilles. He returned to the battlefield and struck Hector down, but he wasn't finished. He dragged Hector's body around the walls of Troy. After that, Troy's king Priam came to Achilles, begging him to return Hector's body. Achilles thought of his own father, far away from him. His compassion overcame his anger. He returned Hector to Priam and granted Troy 12 days to mourn and hold a funeral. See that, Zeus? This is called compassion. Later, when the Greeks couldn't bring down Troy, the most clever Greek warrior, Odysseus, came up with a plan. The Greeks pretended to retreat, leaving behind a giant wooden horse. The Trojans saw it as a trophy and brought it into the city. But what they didn't know was this: the wooden horse was filled with Greek soldiers. At night, the soldiers climbed out, opened the gates of Troy, and let the Greek army in. They slaughtered many of the Trojans, bringing about the fall of the city. As I mentioned earlier, all of this began with a single unwise choice: Paris choosing Aphrodite over Athena or Hera. That's it for today, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.